We may be in the midst of another banking collapse, but unlike these banks that were rescued, the next bank probably won't be. So a new warning has been spreading across Wall Street, and if any part of it is true, banks may be in trouble yet again. You can see Goldman Sachs' warning of a potential credit crisis amid a $5 trillion private lending boom. And then you got the Times reporting on why the world's $3 trillion shadow debt caused the stock market to wobble. And even Moody's came out and said that private credit markets may have bad loans, but they're probably sound. And what exactly started these warning signs? Well, you can see that Zions Bank took a $50 million loan loss as a credit cockroach appeared. So basically what happened is Zions lent out about $50 billion in commercial loans and they ended up being fraudulent loans. I wish I could say they were the only ones, but you can see that Western Alliance also reported losses. So Zions dropped 13% and Western Alliance dropped 10%. So you have two banks that are starting to show signs that they may have overextended themselves and they're going to have to eat these costs. As I said, we've had banking collapses in the past and we've had those banks get bailed out or just flat out bought. This may not be the same this time. And some of the reason for that is Trump has actually worked on deregulating the banking system. What he believes is banks should be able to regulate themselves. So we'll give you the chance to carry less cash on hand so that you can ultimately lend more money out. But you're in charge of mitigating that risk. And so banks aren't required to keep as much in reserves as they used to. And the idea is if they keep less money in reserves, they can lend that money out so that they can make bigger profits and ultimately help businesses grow. It's not just the deregulation that's a problem. Because politically, voters are done bailing out banks when the average everyday person is struggling. So help us before you help the banks. And there's the fact that the government's debt is already sky high. So bailing out another bank would mean adding more to the debt and putting more inflation into the economy. And I want to make it clear that I'm not saying that we will see bank collapses. But what I am saying is if we do see bank collapses, don't be surprised if they don't get bailed out.